Today, I helped an all-ladies trio in their journey to win the $250,000 Milk Cup Finals at TwitchCon this year. The women's competitive community is on the rise, and I'm just thankful to have been able to help such a talented trio. I help people all the time in my Discord, so if you're not in the Discord already, come join and I'd be happy to help you in the next Tuesday Thesis. Now let's jump into the video. Whenever you guys are ready. Do you guys know what you guys want to go over?
I think it was finals. Prequels, I meant. Yeah, prequels.
Maybe we can VOD review that.
Yeah, is it streamed?
It is.
Perfect, yeah, send it over and we can definitely... Okay, this is game one, right?
Yes.
Let's skip through here. So you guys are landing north of Lavish. The split north of Lavish. This can be a good spot just off of map coverage, right? Like you defaultly have a lot of claim around Lavish, but south side's always better for the season. Hey, Uncon is Uncon though.
I didn't get a DMR either. I have an SMG. Footsteps on me?
Actually,
Yeah. Right above me, sweet.
Is
that means they were waiting for that to happen.
we got keyed.
I'm going back for a second. I'm just dead, dude. It's Smiley. Just stay there,
Yeah.
Weezer.
Yeah. Full grief, bro. Full grief.
I already knew. Like,
So where does Smiley land? They land Lavish?
Underworld.
Underworld, okay. Wow.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I was gonna say like one thing with like a loot route in general, right, is it needs to be consistent, and I'm sure fishing. I'd imagine fishing isn't consistent because of just zone pulls, right? Like you might get a really far pull, so you might not be able to fish. So just like playing to consistency is always good because then you can adapt around it way easier. So like things like this wouldn't happen if you just simply say, okay, I know I could fish, but I probably won't. Because it's not something I'll do every time.
Full grief, bro.
Where did they
It's
land?
it's not the biggest deal because you get the reboot off. It's fine. Everything just works out. But now you're kind of back to square zero here, which is fine though. Getting a refresh in
There's
this
house up here. In
is
the
probably
bush,
pretty
dude.
Is that them?
I think I can buy
pretty straightforward.
pigs.
And you guys have the bunker still. So
There's mushrooms right here.
you guys have this bunker claimed or what?
No.
Other
No.
teams get it? Okay.
In the bush, dude.
Is that them?
Nah. 109 on one?
Oh, brother. I'm getting nitro.
80. I hit that girl 80.
I need to heal.
That was me. Oh.
I need to heal. I need a code. Oh, brother.
I hit her 80.
Below me.
Where are the others?
I have no idea.
So here,
Right then?
Yeah. And I can go buy
We disengaged.
yeah, here just clear the bush. Always clear the bush. Like
buy
never ever just go into a bush, especially because some multiple reasons, right? Like they heard your reboot. They can see you coming in before you can see them. Obviously, they're in a bush, and just simply always clear a bush. Like even a bush that I don't land anywhere near in like a first zone. I've rotated it, ran away from my POI. Like I'll always clear a bush. Like just takes one shotgun shot to the middle of the bush, a couple AR sprays around it, and you're good. Like you cleared it and you're good to go. And it doesn't matter, like the risk reward versus somebody over here at the bridge maybe hearing your gunshots. At the tunnel, maybe they heard your gunshots and now they know you're there. Is way less of a risk than a team being in the bush, right? Like I'd rather have the team know I'm there and hold me later on because then I can figure out a way to go around it always, rather than just fight and die in the bush or burn all of my metal.
big.
So that's number one. Number two, and probably just equally as important, is being aware of what mats you guys all have out. Because right now you have metal out, and that makes zero sense to build the metal because there's not much metal left to get on this map, on this rotate. There's gas station to your south, but that's really nothing crazy. You're gonna have to be farming for a while, right? There's a ton of trees and a ton of rocks around here. Of course, like on that note, it does depend on who's like, if you need to be protected, then you need to build brick. If you feel like you can build, a couple wasted mats here and there, then build some wood. So here would probably be a great time to have all of you guys to have wood out. And so who's the IGL, Weezer?
No, it's Crocs.
Crocs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Crocs, just making sure that every player is like, okay, guys, make sure you have wood out. Like Or if we're rotating and you're going into like, you know, let's say it's like 3rd to 4th zone or 4th to 5th zone. It's like you're starting to go by some teams. You're starting to like, you know, okay, this rotate looks a little rough here. We're going to have to go down this hill and then back up another one. Make sure you guys, you know, let's hold wood out and then switch to brick. And that's great because your first part of your rotate isn't going to be, you know, too dangerous. And then the very end, right, you don't want to be building in wood to get server focused. But you also don't want to be building in metal too early. And then, you know, and then when we get in, guys, build in metal. And that's maybe that's all you have to say, and just keep that consistently going, so that way your teammates consistently keep their mats maxed. So here, clear the bush. Second, switch to wood.
There's mushrooms right here.
In the bush,
Right?
dude.
And even if you do get caught off here, just all of you guys need to know that like this is max burn right here. Like you're not, obviously they're jumping in. Even if they're jumping in the box, doesn't matter. Switch to brick. Like this is like, if it's happened, it's an accident, and you just switch off of it. It's okay. Like if you burn 150, 200 metal just because you accidentally had it out, no big deal. That happens to everybody. Just switch to brick, right? Now you have time to switch to brick right now. Like right now you have time, and you keep burning your metal.
109 on one.
Oh, okay.
So that's fine. We'll move forward.
There's one below.
We're eating these shrooms. It's like, nah, I'm fucking. Yeah.
At least we got surge.
So now you have no metal.
Big
Yeah, I
box.
wanna.
Nice.
You don't need.
There's a medkit.
I have no med.
Also, be careful when you guys go in these buildings here. This is like the #1 base spot in this side of the map here.
Here's your mini.
This building right here.
There's a medkit you could hold. Oh, that's.
We usually
And then we
build a
ran
base
in.
up there.
I'm talking about bait spot. I'm talking about to bait
Oh.
it. There's
Oh.
so in this building you won't even you can't even see it right now. You see like those lights right above those lights. There's two
have
beams
no
that hold them up, and you can mantle on them, break out the stairs below you. Like you can make it look like nobody was here. Like you can throw loot down, whatever.
Probably
Oh, we
You're
did
not-
us in there in like games 4, bro.
more.
Yeah.
Just have an SMG.
So be careful of running in there as well, because especially if a team
Over here.
that knows what they're doing, like Smiley, they could easily
This game
kill
is
you,
dead.
let you reboot, watch your reboot, sit in that bush, kill you again, let you reboot again, come and rotate here, sit in the camp, wait for you to rotate, kill you again. Like they could actually just feed off of you.
They rebooted.
That's very possible.
We
Yeah, there's the
they're
beams.
gonna come. This team that was looking to fight people is gonna come over here.
Go on our spot. Go on our spot.
If you want to know a way to get up, by the way, I'll show back here
They
and show this.
rebooted. We gotta hide now.
Like there's a ton of ways to get up, from at least from what I've done
Go on our
consistently.
spot. We usually just dash up, but
So you can
that time we were struggling.
you can build a ramp right here, like right where Sweet is standing to the right of it a little bit, and then you can ramp towards this wall with the hole in it, and then you can just mantle up. Because you don't want to break any of like the luggage or whatever the stuff, whatever little small things are here. You want to be very particular when you're camping a building to leave it like as default as possible. Same thing with building here. Like nobody's gonna come in this building here if they see that there's this, right? Like,
Just get me out of here, cause they're.
Someone got night.
and then also again, like being on the same page, right? Not having to deal with like Crocs not being able to get up, or one of you guys not being able to get up. Like just find a way, right? So build a stair there, right where Crocs, like behind Crocs basically, and then a stair again. Or I think it's a stair and a floor. They both kind of work. A stair and a cone works, and you just mantle up.
Well,
You got the
Smiley goes
nitrous?
island. Every scrim,
Someone got
she
nitros?
keyed everybody.
I have 6.
Went island.
I have 6.
I have 3.
Oh, but
I
someone
have
picked it up.
2.
Oh, you picked them up. Okay.
Yeah.
I have 2 bigs, a fizz, and 6 nitro. And I'm
Also, this is a great time to just like instead of doing all this, which is fine. Like if you're quicker on this, then it doesn't matter to do this. But just talking about your inventory, like what do you have? What can you hold? What can I hold? What do you want to do next zone as soon as it shows? Like you've all this fit. You have
so dead.
30 seconds that you guys spend getting up here, which is again, it's fine. If you're faster with it, then it's more like you spent 5 seconds getting up. But you guys spent like actually like 35 seconds trying to get up on top of this just for zone to pull far from you. Understand that the zone is super unlikely on this zone to pull anywhere near you. It's going to pull center. And it's going to pull, it's either going to pull like center or max, right? So you're never really going to have a decent pull here.
Oh,
You add this map.
So it pulls max.
Left because 6.
Went island.
I have 6.
I have 3.
oh, but
I
someone
have
picked
2.
it up.
So like that entire time, right? You guys could have been talking about, okay, well let's go when we get down here. What do you need for mats? Okay, I need a little bit of wood, a little bit of brick. Okay, well we're going to get that, but let's pop a nitro and just nitro straight up the river here, or let's just white line straight to Grim Gate with nitro. And like so, this is all just like a lull, right? And this is how you can maximize your games. And these are like the little details that like would make like any pro player, like FNCS Grand qualified player, would make them infinitely better in these lobbies. Just maximizing on the smallest details. They're quick on their rotates. They're efficient on their rotates. So just like, boom, pop your nitro, let's go. Like you could probably, if you're quick here, you could get to center zone easily. You'd get all the way down to the bridge, pop another nitro, cross, jump into the water, get skulls, box on the beach, and then you're good. You're in zone. You're in dead center zone. Next zone's going to pull to a side, so that's where you want to be. Unless like you can't get there. Oh, oopsies.
The cook.
So we'll see. So you guys got on for extra loot.
He's
That's
not.
I don't think these people would be here anymore.
We're on dead side, by the way. So I mean, we have good rotates.
Bunkers right
I think
here.
we hit this thing.
I want to farm that
Objectively, you guys need metal still. So if you see that opportunity for metal, you take it.
metal. Never.
Have any gold? So
Yeah.
there.
But like the entire time, I mean, there's a tunnel here, right? It's just fine. But you guys have 9 nitro, and like sounds like maybe it's not a lot for a trio, but it's everyone gets to use it. Like in duos, we make 6 nitro work every time, right? So 9 is more than enough, and probably even too much. Like you could easily, at a certain point in the game, you can make it work. You know, like any amount of nitro. Like from this point in the game, 6 nitro will last you the entire time.
In. You got hit, in.
So same thing here.
Stay at this house here.
Same thing here. Crocs, just pre-plan. A lot of competitive Fortnite is going to be about pre-planning your rotates, right? So just like before when you were mantled up top, right? Pre-planning what you want to do on the next zone. If what happened, wherever it pulled. So here, right, you're going to hit the tunnel. Firstly, practice hitting this tunnel. If this is a tunnel you're going to commonly hit, which from your spot, you're coming north to south, right? You're not going to need to practice tunnels coming from south to north for the most part, right? I land restored reels, and the tunnel's right outside of restored reels. If we go here, these, I know exactly where they go. Like I have a map of like, okay, if I hit this with a fizz on and I hold D, right, then I'll come, this way, or I can go all the way to here, or I can go all the way to wherever, right? So know where this takes you, but just in general, this is not even a situation where you need to have like put too much thought into it, but just literally say, okay, open the map, like let me box up here, guys, before we hit this tunnel, because this is a big movement. This gives you nitro, which you can use after, right? Instead of like wasting the nitro, because it's going to run out eventually. So I would say box up here, open the map, read the zone, and you probably would see that you could just go straight on this road right here and go straight into dead center zone here. You say nitro, go hard left.
Behind.
Yeah. Just.
I don't even have any golds.
no.
They are there. We should.
Nitro, go hard left.
Yeah. Behind.
But feel free to just box there and just make the like actual call here, right? Like box up, like, all right, let me look at zone here, guys. Like just look around me, make sure like I'm gonna be in my map trying to just theorize and based off teams there, blah blah blah, right? Okay, this looks like the play. Let's nitro and go hard left, whatever it is.
Just fizz.
Fizz is smart though. Every time you fizz with nitro, always like fizz nitro
You got hit, in.
every single time.
Can we just stay at this house here?
Yeah.
Can we farm it?
So you got in pretty well, right? Like untouched. It was a good rotate. But I'd imagine you could have probably taken this. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but yeah, like this little brick house right here. Like I can go on Loot Lake and show it easier. You probably could have taken this brick house for brick. You could have, anywhere here would have been pretty solid. Like it's dead side, right? Like that's best positioning. Like look at the zone from what I can see. It looks like the half and half is like something like that. Like obviously the zone's bigger, so we'll draw it like that, but that's just not right. It's hard to draw, but it looks like the half and half is something like this. Right? Mm-hmm. So this hill would have been in. It looks like it. Maybe we'll see in the second here if you open the map. Which would have been enough pad, right? Like that's automatic height.
That's okay.
So the brick reform you're getting is minimal. You need 30 brick and you got your 30 brick already.
We won't even show you on a nitro.
And the zone pulse again. So again, same thing here, Crocs. Just like being automatic on this. Like, hey guys, you guys reform. I need 100 wood, 100 brick. Just go get it. Like, Boom. Okay, they're down there. Just they're they're your literal like farming gremlins. Like you just send them down there, go get it, be efficient with it. I'm gonna look at the rotate and plan it all out. You're looking at it, right? You say, okay, option A. If it pulls to this direction, right? Like if it pulls, you're in this building here, right? So if zone pulls this way, what are you gonna do, right? If zone pulls this way, same thing, right? So have options. Right. So that way, when it does pull, because you don't need infinite options, right? You only need a handful, at least some, like make the best ones that might be the most stressful. Like let's imagine there's a base here and a base here and a base here, right? There's this like super contested and there's just only one guy here and then there's no one here, right? So like if it pulls to this zone really quickly, right? Like you got to go fast because if you can get right by these teams without them seeing you, you're in zone. Boom, right? Or like, of course, these are hard scenarios to draw up, right? But if it pulls over here to the left, right? This is pretty chill. You guys, get everyone grouped up. All right, let's go. All right, boom, we're out. The next one, if it pulls max, maybe you want to go early as well because you want to get there before everyone else does to avoid grief. But
For this one though, like the girls never rotate at all. So it's always hard to go early, and then when we do, usually we get max focus by everybody.
okay, I would try the one thing here. So this is something that because it's the same. It's pretty similar. Like for cash cups and stuff like that, it's like people just don't rotate. Like that just happens, right? Not everybody is like super educated on the game. Try like instantly rotating. Like if it's a max pull in a cash cup lobby, because that's again, I do the same thing. Like people are dumb, they won't rotate. Like I'm not dealing with this. If it's like a Grand Glacier zone or something crazy, right? Like I'm just not dealing with the zone pulling up the hill. Or even here, like it's a flat zone. This is all flat. Inform your teammates, right? Like, hey guys, this is a flat zone, or this is a hill zone, or this is a water zone. Like this, let them know what the vibes are here, if they don't know already. But try this, right? Try just simply pick one of these three rotates, right? So for me, it's hard to say because I can't see the actual map, but just kind of biasly off of already knowing where the zone goes, I would say let's just do this long one here because this is probably going to be the hardest one out of all of these, considering that it's the furthest rotate. Just everyone get on the same wall. Like everyone sits down here, right? Someone's holding the edit on the wall. Like it's a big wide edit, whatever. Someone's holding the edit. One person's holding nitro. And then the other person's like looking through the right wall or whatever. Or he's just, just sitting there, whatever. Just instantly go. Like zone pulls, instantly go. You should try that. Like in a scrim game, just spend a day of scrims just instantly going. And the biggest thing with this is it's no hesitation. It's just go. And it's a little blind, which feels unnatural and like you shouldn't do it. But trust me, this works a lot. And in solos, it works a ton. Like just instantly go. Like pop it, instantly go. Like I was watching Beto and Clicks last night. Actually, I'll just show this real quick. I was watching them last night in their FNCS games. I took a bunch of notes over it. And one of the things that it's nothing crazy, right? Like this is a very minor detail, so I want to show it. But it just kind of proves to my point. So this is an FNCS Grand Finals, right? Where the lobby's very, very good, right? I'll play some audio. All right, so they're padding in. This is FNCS Week 1 Finals. This is a stacked lobby, tons of pros, very good players.
Don't go that far. Don't go that far.
All right, so they're talking about where they want to go, whatever, right? They box up below here, right below the ridge, just to avoid server focus.
With fists.
And just hear what this coach says here.
5 or 4-4-1.
Okay, now you have two options.
4-4-40.
Right, so you heard him say right there, just one thing. Now you have two options. He's planning options, right? Like it's a very common thing to do. You want to have here's your options, let's go, or plan out A, B, C, right? Kind of just like this.
Two options. If it pulls max northwest, you drop down insta with fizz, pre-fizz, and dash to zone.
Right, so it's just creating those little things like that. Like you're gonna do this, that, and this, boom, and you're gonna go. Right, so he's telling him on top of that, he's telling him to pre-fizz because he knows it's gonna be a rough rotate if it pulls to northwest. Right, so you can make those scenarios for a bunch of other, for all the combinations, but it's a little bit hectic, right? Like so he's just doing northwest. He could do northeast, southwest, northwest, southwest, east, whatever, right? We also here, 8 seconds on the clock, right? Nobody's going yet. Nobody's rotating. They're not going to rotate. But Vino's going to tell him to pre-pop fizz right here.
Fizz, if it pulls max, ready? Clicks.
Turn around.
Clicks.
So before the zone's even going, Clicks just messed up there, right? Like he was I don't know what he was doing. He was just slow, whatever. But like pre-popping the fizz means that they already have the fizz on before everyone else pops their fizz. Because you know how it goes, right? This zone pulls, and then you pop your fizz when the zone pulls. Then you read the zone. Then you pop your fizz. Then you nitro. Then you go, right? Like, so they've already planned it, right? So a lot of pros skip that first step. When the zone, they're already planning where the zone's going to pull, what they would do in each scenario, and then they execute that scenario. But doing the small things that a lot of pros aren't doing is like pre-popping fizz, or maybe even pre-nitroing. Like you're ready to go right away. I mean, nitro, obviously you have an audio cue to it. Same with fizzing, but it's a little bit less obvious. You might just be healing, right? But that's a smart thing to do, right? So like here, you guys could be on this building, like, okay, pre-pop fizz, like just have it on. Doesn't matter where it goes, but it'll make our decks rotate 10 times easier, right? So just a small detail, right? So be ready on these rotates will make it a ton easier.
We just gotta go.
Because the worst thing about these lobbies is kind of what you said, is like these guys, they don't know how to rotate. These girls, they don't know how to rotate. This is all girls scrum, right?
This is the milk prequels.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So they all a lot of them don't know how to rotate, right? It's like kind of what you said. So you don't want to have to play around them having to rotate. Now you're having to play around them. You know, that team is right there is running the zone. Like if they don't run that direction in front of you, or they just stall, or they stop, or they just decide that whatever the reason is, right? Like you don't want to be
You're gonna hit it.
griefed by that. Also, one thing here, always have one person that has nitro. So let's just if we want to make it Weezer, we'll make it Weezer right now. Weezer always carries nitro, no matter what. Weezer always pops the nitro, and it doesn't have to be the IGL, because the IGL can tell Weezer to pop the nitro. Like in my duo situation, I have my teammate hold the nitro. It's probably best if the best fighter holds it, because in a situation where you guys crack, two teams or a team 100, you hit them all 100, or one's hit 150, then the fragger, the mindset kicks in of like, all right, let's fight. But the IGL is going to be too conservative, right? That's at least what I've experienced on my own end, is I've been too conservative. And so I gave it to my fragger, and if we hit a guy 100, we're in that. Like he's dead. And also my fragger he's just better mechanically, better aiming. He's better with the nitro. So it's just an easier thing. So if it's Weezer, it doesn't matter, but just always have one of you guys hold the nitro every time and use the nitro every time first. Like once you're out of it, the other person that has it gives it back to you, and you just keep the cycle going, right? So you don't have, nobody's worrying about who's nitroing, you're nitroing. So make that decision with whoever you want. The next thing here is when you're editing out, always go down to edit out. Or I guess the reason why I'm telling you this is to avoid server focus, right? Like go in the area that has the least eyes, right? So behind you, going out and down could be good, right? Or just simply going down here, because I know there's this building here in front of you. So if you go down and edit one of these two walls below you, these white walls in front of you will kind of block the angles. But what you're doing here is showing the rest of the lobby that you're going, right?
We just gotta go.
So imagine, hey, shooting those guys is fine, whatever.
You're gonna hit it.
Like there's a ton of teams I can see, right? There's a potential ton of teams. We don't know where they all are. But now that they see you're going, right? Like guaranteed the team on the hill sees you, the team on pink marker, the team on the right, team that just ran, team that's boxed in the middle, they all see you. But if you just went down below and just kind of kept it low key, you could get an extra 50 meters without even being seen, right? So it's those small little details. Like if you can get 50 meters without being seen in a stack lobby where your mats matter and where you have to save every little bit, that right there is like the winning factor. Like that just saved you 500 metal, and now you don't have to, now you have extra 500 metal in late game and you win the game. Boom.
Low, we can hit her.
Bless you.
Oh my god, you see that one down there?
Right here. You see her?
Wait, that's nitro again, and if she boxes up on low, we can hit her.
Bless you.
Oh my god, you see that one down there?
No,
Not worth.
not worth.
Earth. Here, I'm going to the left more. I'm going to the left behind these girls. You see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. Just
I'm going on
playing
top of
that
this
side.
house.
All right.
It's good. Yeah, just kind of committing to that call, like knowing that you want to go here beforehand, so you're not like doing that random potential chance to dive in. I mean, it was smart that everyone called each other off of not doing that, because that would have been bad.
W rotation, IGL Crocs.
They're hard fighting. Fuck farming. Spray them. We can get these.
Top. Height might be looking at us.
And you guys pulled zone here, which is great. So I don't know how this meta would go in trios, but I would say if you pull zone here like this, you take height.
This girl's.
Just because you have so many mats as a team.
Okay, we're chilling. Our head.
So people got above you. But if you're not a height team, that's also fine. You don't have to
have
play height.
3. No.
Okay. Trust, please. Okay, I'm gonna fizz us.
Oh.
Things are
Oh,
told me,
here
please.
we got beam.
Come right here.
I think we died on this one.
Our head.
I mean, yeah, if you look at this, just like why are you peeking, right? Like you've got 380 surge damage, you're
You can
peeking,
Okay.
and there's kind of no objective. You guys are all kind of peeking individually. And all like this wall is weak, right? Like there's a lot going on here, and just like simply the IGL just needs to be the person doing the least, right? Like let the two fragger players kind of shoot it out, whatever, and just kind of monitor them / monitor zone, right? Like, all right, guys, that's good. Let's go. Like good damage. Let's go. Right? There's no storm surge right now. There probably will be on. There will probably be some in a bit, but you guys are going to be well above, and the next rotate's going to get you damage, and it's not a worry. Like unless you just completely dropped all your guns, you might struggle, but you're not.
Okay, but we've been
The next thing-
over, and then we go way under multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. So the reason why that is because there's some fake surge with zones, right? So if the zone threshold is 36 players for surge, I'm not exactly sure. I'm just throwing numbers out. And there's 42 players live right now, and then nobody dies on that surge for 42 players. Then it moves to 36 players. It's going to look like it's going to be like super high, and then as soon as it hits 36 players, it's going to drop super low. Does that make sense? Like
Are we-
if zones stack if storm surge zones stack, the threshold will look super high, and you'll be like, oh, we're chilling, and then it'll just drop drastically. And trios does make sense. It is a little harder in trios. There's 3 people shooting. It's like everyone's getting damaged. You do need to be pretty consistent with damage. I'm not saying you shouldn't be shooting, but I think that Crocs should be the one not shooting in scouting. Like 2 people shooting is fine. Have a goal. Like, okay, we're gonna edit on this team, shoot this team. Like, all right, cool. That didn't work. Close it off. Like, no big deal. Whatever.
Are we in? Look at this.
If you hear Nitro, get in a cone.
Okay, we need to
Also, cones don't protect you on Nitro.
expand more.
You guys should have all stairs here, by the way. But yeah, stairs will save you here. Even though it's clunky, stairs are gonna make it a lot better for Nitro. You're gonna be way less targeted for Nitro too. If people see you have stairs in your box, it's just the weirdest thing, right? Like nobody wants to do stairs because for years they haven't, but now you have to.
Okay, we're chilling.
In the cone right here.
All right, so this is keeping you guys are all 3 looking at different things here on all 3 different angles, and all 3 have openings onto each other, and in some way, like it's a little bit, it's I don't want to. I want to give you guys the benefit of the doubt, but at the same time, you guys haven't been closing walls when you've been shooting, so I'm gonna call it out. But like here, right? So you make your space, right? There's one window, right? One window. You close the back wall. That's fine. Right now you have 2 boxes in front of you. Okay, so you go to the middle box,
Okay, we're chilling.
right? And you leave this wall open, and then Crocs goes to the right box and she leaves that wall open. So now from every angle, right? Like you're the team that you're shooting, right? Even if you guys are shooting the same team, this team right here in this metal cone could shoot your teammate without her knowing, right? So same thing like on all sides, right? So always close the walls on each other, right? So if you are gonna shoot this team here, if you want to go for a damage or whatever, like close the walls, 100%. The next thing is just shoot from the back of the cone here, right? Like you could edit a right window here. You could be crouched in the cone. You could edit the cone. Like when you have your own box here, you'll understand, like you'll feel a lot more comfortable just flipping the cone however you want, because it's your box, right? Like you can get in it. Somebody else can rotate into it. Like they can easily just, come through to switch sides, whatever. It's not a big deal, but always make sure when you're going for surge tags, you're closing windows. These are going to be like the small things that like, this didn't get you killed right here. At least I don't think it did. And then like maybe this doesn't get you killed every time in a late game, but like in an early game when you're going for surge and you're basing up and you're doing all of that, right? Like if you leave those little walls in between you and your teammate, that could be potential life or death, right? The team that you're trading with could hit your teammate 150, which means they don't need surge anymore, which means they're not going to peek you as aggressively as they were before, which means you don't get any more damage, right? So like it's just a trickling effect.
In the cone right here. Ooh.
Our head. I'm chilling.
So spraying from back would have been great, and Yeah, or even just hip fire spraying. You could have hip fire sprayed and then held your pump out and just combated them for like 50. But I think in general, just one person, like 2 people looking for Surge and like one of the same in the same box, and then Crocs just kind of like in the front box, just looking at zone.
Alright, hold me, please. Hold me, please.
We gotta go down.
We're good. We're
No, they
good.
suck.
It goes far.
I'm thinking
So now Crocs needs to scout.
Do we have things or no? Dashes?
I have,
We have
I have
dashes.
3.
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna fizz us.
Oh, brother.
Here, I
Let
died
me look
as
at where
I
we're gonna go.
I
think we
didn't
should go
have
to the right here.
dashes.
Yeah, nice Ross, please.
and I did calm.
Say what?
I didn't have dashes, and they got like way like past me, so I died easily like in the back.
Go right. Go right. On top. On top. Follow me.
Yeah. So a big part of this meta, by the way, is rotate and box. Like just land right here and box. Just land and box. I know like people have nitro, but like I mean, you guys can see this lobby alone is everyone's just trying to get to the front line and then they box again. Like this is insane. There's like
Go
so
right.
many teams just box in this tree, use metal and put stairs in your box. If someone runs in your box, it's a little unfortunate, but it's at the same time you could also like you could have been faster to go to a side of zone than box on a side of zone. Like you don't need to force to the front here is what I'm trying to say.
Go right.
Just box, like stop, nitro, whatever, boom, go from there. But in general, like there was, I mean, the zone moves quick, right? You guys got fried. You had 19 seconds. That 19 seconds came down like it was 2 seconds. And so just being really aware of that and trying to plan that rotate ahead of time so it doesn't feel like you just were spraying a team, just healed up, and now you're already moving. Now you're already like playing in game. So pre-planning rotates, knowing what you want to do. Okay, it's a water zone. We want to play. Let's box in the middle. Like if you want to run all the way front here, maybe that's the play. Like I'm not saying that's it's entirely wrong, but definitely understand that it's okay to box at the back of zone here. Like you don't have to get all the way to the front because you have a ability that literally can break. Like the biggest thing this season, and like I just mentioned before with the cones, is like you're trying to break like muscle memory that you've like had for a while, right? Like previous seasons you've always had a cone in your box because that's the smartest thing to do. Right now you're having to put stairs and that just feels awkward, so you just don't consistently do it, but you have to learn how to consistently do it. Next season you're gonna have to break the habit. That's just how it is. The next thing is like normally if you box right there in that middle area, everyone's gonna be looking at you like they're gonna be boxed up. Like these guys right in front of you are gonna be boxed up, looked at you, turn around, ready to spray you when you go in. Like it's going to be a grief. You're dead. Like don't do that in any other meta. But in this meta, you have an item that can not only break builds pretty much instantly with any minus metal, right? You can break through builds, but you can also run extremely fast, faster than a pepper, faster than anything that's been in the game. Like you are, if you slide it, right? Like you run slide, that's insanely fast as well, right? So it's different than before. So you got to break the muscle memory of like thinking, okay, we got to get as front as possible, because as front as possible is really the worst spot to be in this season, right? You've got all these teams on each other, all of them have nitro, and it's just going to be a ram fest. They're all just going to be running at each other and just trying to get, a refresh. Whatever.
On top.
So landing at the back there is fine, right? Even here, like you can land here, like right here, and build backwards. Like you don't have to go so far front. I know it's like not towards the zone. Obviously, I get that. But this is just gonna you're just gonna be in the mess, like in the mosh pit of everybody here, right? So you're here.
No,
right? There's one guy that nitroed you.
I'm getting
Maybe that
up.
was your teammate.
With you.
But
Back up.
even so, just makes it really hard for your entire trio to follow, and that's a lot of mats that now are gone. But yeah, I mean, also on top of all this, like if we're a little bit more cleaner in our gameplay and we're just a little bit more particular what we're doing, right? Skulls should have been a given. Like, okay, farm those metal cars before we hit this tunnel. Do you guys have skulls? We're not getting them again after this. This is it. Okay, no, I need them. All right, go down. That's fine. It's a little bit grief. Like, let's find a way to get them earlier. We had everyone, if everyone on the team had them earlier, you should have also had them earlier, right? Like that's the way I look at it, right? So, hey, it's a good next game. Let's, if this happens again, let's find a way to get them earlier. We'll watch it back. Just go down, get them. It's okay. We're fine. We'll hit this tunnel and we're out. Boom, go. And then if a team goes in front of you and hits the tunnel and boxes somewhere, then you can just like plan around it. Easy. Or you can answer. That could be your reason why maybe the game took a turn and you had to, make some crazy comeback. But skulls here would have definitely been nice. You guys could have skulled for sure. Skulls are really good for short distances, right? Of course, they're not. That's like, I feel like I just explained the item, but like here to zone would have been good. You guys just simply pop a fizz and just dash, right? One dash, right? Try to never use multiple when you have this mobility meta, because if you're ever caught in a box, someone's nitring you, you can always dash away. Like you want to always save, just use one. Just always use one. Before you would use like one or two, you know, save the last one, whatever, but just use one. One every rotate.
We need to start looking.
Yeah,
We need more
I'm
points.
fizzing us. We need to go.
All right, so I'm fizzing us. We need to go. And then you finish it by saying, I'm gonna go in between here, or I'm gonna go above this team, or I'm going to try and get on top of this team, or I'm gonna try to build metal here. I'm gonna try to build wood here. Like, do you have any hards? No. Okay. All right, we have to build brick. Okay, stairs in the box. All right, like, so you just kind of answer the problems. Like, you know, that's how you want it to be. All right, you only have wood. Okay, that means you have to do the stair, like the stair technique where you flip the stair around and play super protected. Or okay, you only have wood. Let's go for refresh. All right, so tell your teammate where you want her to go so she can follow easier, right? I think where you went is probably fine. I mean, yeah, look at this player here with no cone on their top, peeking out a window, pushed against the wall. These are all signs, by the way, of like, this is your refresh. Like, I know there's definitely teams in here that, just like every scrim, there's always a team that's like scary to go against. Maybe it's you guys, genuinely. I have not been paying attention to leaderboards at all. So, but there's always a team that's really, really good. Like, I'm just gonna use Smiley for example. Like, I have no idea, genuinely no idea how good any of these teams really are. There's always gonna be teams people are scared of, right? So whether that's like a skin they see like you guys in the focus skins, right, or whatever, right? And then there's always gonna be bad teams. There's always gonna be someone that's just not as good as the top team, right? That's just it. That's just the way it is, right? So a good finder, like the good way to pick these guys out is this person right here in the window. Like, this is a clear, not a great player, no cone on the roof, in a wood box with a stair phase, ready for you to hit it. And I mean, simply just nitro in the box and kill that player. Like, that right there is just like, you got to be, and these lobbies, you got to be quick on picking off the players that are just not as good as the rest. Like, that's just plain and simple how it is. This metal team clearly has some type of knowledge. Like, they're in metal, they're in a high layer, they have enough space. But this person in the wood here, boom, like, that's your kill. You wouldn't even have to jump in the box here. You would just probably have to spray this box and you'd be able to kill her. Like, I'm pretty certain. Like, look, press against the window. So again, same thing, it works your way, right? You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be like, you don't want to be in this situation. Don't be pushed against the window with no cone on your top, no cone on your floor. Like, this is like the most instant kill ever.
Oh,
right? So right there, you could have seen that. And it's not that you have to jump in it right away. Like, just be like, hey, Crocs, this person right here is like not good, or whatever you want to say. Like, I don't know how you want to say it, but this person's really bad. This is our kill right here. And like, you guys all, after you hearing me explain this, you guys all know, okay, that's like, we capitalize off of that, and your confidence will grow over time, right? Like, let's say we were able to replay the scrim and this is live, and you guys, after hearing me say that, you guys would say to kill this team or kill this player or whatever. You know, once you do that one time, you're like, okay, wait, he's right, or this does really work. Okay, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again, because it's gonna happen again. Like, you're gonna find teams that are just not that good. Like, you could probably play this game out here and just tarp it out until you find that bad team. Like, I'm not even like, that could be a strategy. Like, you could just get to end game, like play mid game right, and just tarp it out, and just keep your eyes peeled for a team that does not look as aware, because there's always gonna be a team that doesn't have the same game plan as you. There's always going to be a team. So that player right there would have been like, you guys would have just tarped it out, find that player. Okay, that's your refresh. Boom. 1,000 mats. Now you're good to go. Keep going.
Can you get to me? I went up a layer.
I'm spraying right now. Hold up. Dead.
There's an example of a team that's just not as aware, right? Like, that is like, so in a short, my theory is pretty true. Like, you guys just have to just literally tarp it out and understand that, okay, wait, we're going to play mid game, right? Your mid game, early game was great. And you didn't have great metal, which is fine because you used it in the bush fight. But imagine you had 5-5-5. It's very possible you guys could have all had 5-5-5. And especially you guys got rebooted. That's annoying. Like, the camp, whatever Smiley thing was annoying. But if you guys all had max mats and you were able to keep those max mats until moving zones, you guys literally could play the meta where you just tarp it out in a straight line. I would genuinely try that. Like, try that. Keep your eyes peeled for what looks like a bad player. Maybe it's the skin, maybe it's the back bling. Like, you guys, I think you guys understand based off of what I'm seeing here, what it looks like to be a bad player. or like if you have a bad skin on, a big skin, you know, maybe some crazy pickaxe on, a back bling. Like nobody's doing that. No.
Like I told you, Weezy.
Leave me alone, Crocs.
Nobody's doing back blings. Even these pickaxes, I'm not gonna lie. Switch the pickaxes for something different.
She can't.
It's my main. I can't. I have to keep the pickaxe.
It's a superstition.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, you can be the best team with something like that. That's okay. But look, so that's, you guys can try that. Like I would, if you guys are playing scrims today, I would definitely try like, hey, look, we're just gonna tarp it out. We're just gonna play it out and look like actively the two players in the back. Just look for the bad teams. Like it might not even be like you're like looking for the skins, you're trying to analyze the players. It might just be like you're just looking for a spray, and like right there, you just weren't even trying to look for anything. You were just looking for damage, like storm surge damage, just to get a couple tags, and you end up killing the person. And that right there
Nice, dude.
could be, that's kill points, that's a refresh.
Chop it with them.
Yeah, don't let them res. And double resing in trios is that you're probably not gonna get that kill.
Okay, it goes back. Come. I'm going to come to you. Fizzing us.
In.
Behind us, we gotta go.
Go.
Blue marker.
I'm on low ground.
I'll get to you.
All right, so one thing here that I don't know who's dead here, but who's dead? Sweets.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so what you can do is, I mean, you mark the zone, which is good, but you can kind of tell them like what the zone is like. Like Crocs should know, but it looks like if you zoomed on the map here yourself, I don't know, sometimes it bugs, sometimes you can't zoom in on the map, but you could zoom in on the map and see like, okay, like, hey, this zone is like, this is a straight downfall. Like this is a straight to low ground from the hill where you're elevated right now. It's going to be, you know, big drop here. So you could be like, hey, stay elevated. It's a full drop to low ground. Do not go low ground. Like knowing that's going to be a mess, right? And because Crocs can't see it. Crocs is kind of blinded, but like if she did scout in the cone, she would be able to see like, okay, you know, I can't see the ground here, which means it's probably a big fall. And, you know, obviously map awareness, you would say there's a lake here, there's a hill to the right, like all those things would play into it. So just like, you don't have to drop this far down, like kind of just being prepared to catch yourself or even just, again, stopping. It's okay to stop, put stairs in your box, and then just go again. Like you don't have to force yourself to front, because what you're doing right now, Crocs, is you're just going to force yourself in a spot that's going to get you nitroed.
I'm on low ground. Yeah.
I'll get to you.
I'm gonna go. Can we go up right here? Can we go up now?
I don't think
One layer.
so. Tree.
Breaking.
You
I don't
guys
have
only have
orange.
wood.
I have
You both only
36.
have wood.
Can I have a medkit maybe?
Look for refresh.
Here, wood. Wood. Cracked right here.
This is a big thing that you guys do consistently, for at least in this game, is just different things. Like the leader leads, the refresher looks for refreshes, like whatever, right? That's the way it is. Like for duos, that's how it is. Like if I need a refresh, I tell my teammate, hey, go get a refresh. If he calms, like, hey, spray on me, I'm already on him. Like I'm not even trying to do my own thing. Even if I think it's the best play in the world, I'm gonna follow him. Now, if I find something else before him, like if we're just tarping in zone, I say, I see a guy in a wood wall right here. This is a free pre-edit. Get it ready. Then I'm calling the fight and I'm leading the fight and I'm building for it. I'm executing the fight. So it's the same thing, right? So we need a refresh. Okay, Weezer, refresh. Let's go.
Wait, nitro that.
I don't know why that didn't work.
This layer is getting attacked. We need to go up. Switch layers.
I'm up. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm just gonna drink my coke.
Also, just like, it's hard for you guys to do with this game because you guys are duo and you're low on mats, but just take like a peek at height, or just like understand this detail here. Height has not sprayed you at all
I don't
in this
know how that
time.
works.
Like, right, like you're coming here, like you're exposed to height right now.
Go up. Switch layers.
You're exposed to height with no floors on your tops. Like you're just like right there. There's nothing on your top, and they're not spraying you, right? Like they're in wood. They're still not
I'm with
spraying
you.
you. Like you're here.
I'm just
They're
gonna drink
still
my-
not spraying you. So like the spectator, it's Sweets, right? The spectator,
Yeah, I can calm that.
yeah, comment. Like they're not spraying you, or they're just combating you with a shotgun. They're all three hitting you with combats. Like that means they have no AR ammo, or they have no SMG ammo. Like they have nothing, or you don't even hear them. Do you hear footsteps up there? Like that's like less of a cue. But try to play off of like what they're doing. Like if they're spraying, who they're spraying. Like that's a sign of like who's on height. If it's a good team, if it's a bad team. You know what they have, like all those things are good. And then same thing with like, if you can just take a second, like I know obviously you guys have less mats here, this isn't the best situation to explain this, but if you guys have a little bit more mats, maybe you're alive, like just peek at height. right? Like I would genuinely go back and watch this FNCS video from Clicks and them. You can skim through their end games and how they've played it. I'll show. Let's see. I'll show one of their games they won here. But they just do that. They do that. It's not a game breaking thing. They're not the first team to discover this. This is a very common thing, but they just do it very well. Vino's a very good hype player.
Chilling.
So here, right?
Someone on our watch out.
Stairs.
Look back in. I blocked our back. I blocked our back. I blocked our
Yeah,
back.
they're looking back, whatever. They're blocking their back with stairs.
I blocked it. Blocked it. Blocked it. Oh, that one. Oh, that one. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna find high again.
He's finding height again.
You drop high again. Spraying it. Spray mark.
He's spraying from the back. This is a little sketchy because his teammates obviously but he's he just knows he has to go for it. So he goes for the weak point in the back. Right, this is something you guys can do. This is way harder than the way these scrims look. Like if you're not getting sprayed by height right now, this is just infinitely easy already. All right, so stairs. He gets hard, whatever.
In the fizz. Drop in the fizz. Fizz.
Sorry, don't pull spell. We just need to run right. Come here.
I'm hard here.
Come here. He's basic. We can heal now.
This when you go.
Just fizz. man.
Anything? Hold.
Stare back always.
They're on wood now. They're on wood now. Okay. We shot. I had screw. They
You
crap.
have one dash. now.
I'm running. I go over.
All right, so all he's doing is fizz nitro, fizz nitro, fizz nitro. Like he's not even trying to force the front of the side zone. He's just fizz nitroing, and he's looking up constantly, right? Because he's a height player. He wants to play height. They both want to play height.
I'm looking. I'm counting. They're on wood. They're on wood. They're on wood. Wait. Okay. Go back.
So waits to do it at the same time.
Go back. Okay. We do it now. Come.
And instead of doing it from that box as well, like I don't know if that's why he told him to wait instead of doing it from there. Maybe he wanted to shoot together because he was fizzing. But either way, like this is the better box to do it from. You want to do it from an angle like this, like they're not going to see you shoot from this angle. If you shoot from the floor like before, it's just way too obvious, right? Like they're going to just look down and say, "Oh, this team's editing wide open. They're going to shoot us." They chop this team out.
They're gonna fall on us. They're gonna fall.
They fall on them, so now they go for a fight because they are connecting to them, right? They have nothing. They go for the fight. If we skip ahead here, they win the game. Boom. Like, they just won an FNCS game against the top pros on NA and EU, I guess, with the EU players coming over by just doing that. They just looked the height, shot it out. Okay, next. Go next zone. Look at height, shot it out. Go next zone. So, oh, they're connecting on us now? Okay, go up. That's it. So, like, the entire time you guys play it, look for height, shoot it out, look for height, shoot it out. Also, on this same note, I'm not trying to convince you guys to play high ground. You guys can do whatever you want, but have a position that you guys want to play. High ground, mid ground, low ground. Doesn't matter what it is. High ground is going to be easier for winning. Like, and if you can condition the lobby, I'm sure there's a lot of other really good teams that also play high ground.
It's only 2.
Yeah. So
It's usually just Smiley and then another team.
yeah. So if that's the case,
Really?
then
Millie, yeah.
you guys can easily be the better height team. Like, if this is them on high ground right now, then this is just a bad showing.
Coke.
But
Blue marker.
yeah, high ground, like again, there's teams on NA that go for high ground too. It's a little bit less honestly than EU, but like on EU, if we go back to like Invitational or like even EU FNCS finals, there's Queasy, there was Vino and Tayson, there's like a bunch of teams, there's Aqua, like when they all were competing against each other, there was like 4 or 5 teams that would go for height, and they're still kind of like that on both regions, right? Like, but that's not how it is every time. Like they took height off of multiple different teams every single game, right? So it's not going to always be Smiley on height. Even if she's in the game, she's fragging out. She's not always going to be Smiley on height. So again, so you're still not really getting sprayed by height.
I still have 300 mats.
Yeah. I have 9 builds.
Come.
Oh,
Come. Get ahead.
Like right here, you can be in your cone, looking up. Like, okay, now you're getting
Hold my
sprayed.
head.
I have
Here, I'm
6.
splitting
But look, they're on wood. Looks like it's like a wood
my
cone.
wood here. Yeah, here. Fizzing.
They're nitro?
Do you have nitro?
Yeah.
Do you have nitro?
No, I have no nitro.
They're still not spraying you, and you're
We're
like
gonna go.
second height in wood.
Go.
Get height. A little bit height.
Boom, there you
I'll
go.
go down. Go down.
I can't.
You sprayed them out.
Not height.
Okay,
And you killed them to fall damage. Like that was how easy it was. You sprayed them out on like pretty much on accident. You just looked up, didn't even build around you. You just sprayed out and you killed them to fall damage.
no mats actually, and I have
They
no
died.
builds.
Oh, nice.
Nice, you're crazy. It's
But you're seeing here like how messy it is to go front. Like you can just stay back. It's okay. Like get ahead isn't a thing anymore.
Top.
hold my head.
I have
Here, I'm
6,
splitting my
5.
wood here. Yeah, here. Fizzing.
They're nitro?
Do you have nitro?
Yeah.
Do you have nitro?
No, I have no nitro.
Nitroing. We're good to go. Go.
Like obviously zone's on you, but like just be slower here. Like it's okay. Tarp out a box. Wait for everyone. Like these guys, all these players are gonna run ahead. Like they're all gonna run far ahead. Like this. This is gonna be a mess. So you end up dying.
Get height. A little bit high.
And then here, when you're shooting this out, like this is good to shoot out here, but they easily can hold that. Shoot out like at least a little bit further. You don't have to go deep, like that deep, but like deep enough to understand like they can't really just go back there and hold it.
No. Go.
But that's also the beauty of having an AR, which is like having a Warforge. If you guys all three have Warforges, that's insane, right? Like I know Surge is going to be more complicated than that. You're not going to all be able to run it, but like imagine you have a strategy that's able to get you early Surge, which means you can have 2 people run Warforge and 1 person run DMR, and then boom, you can have 2 spray weapons like that for the end game, or maybe it's burst or whatever.
Go down.
I knocked tight.
Or maybe there's a strategy where you have triple gun. You have AR pump burst because you guys want to be able to burst on height and have a bunch of ammo for when you spray down. That's fine too.
I have no mats actually, and I have
They
no
died.
builds.
Oh, nice.
Nice, you're crazy. It's
So here, like when you go for these
go
mats,
down,
just
go
like
down.
I knocked tight.
take a quick second to realize what the mats are.
No mats actually.
Yeah.
I have no builds.
Like where are the
I
mats?
freak out in end games usually, so I gotta work on that.
Yeah, there's med kits, right? Like that. Your first priority is probably like, okay, mats and then whites, right? Because you're gonna tank your. If you have a lot of med kits, like let's say there's floppers and big pots, whatever. Like floppers, then med kits, then big pots.
Nice, you're crazy. It's 2v. It's a 1v2, Weezer. You're crazy, Weezer. I don't know how many mats you have, but you win.
No.
Nice.
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 No, NT. You're so good. You guys are so mean, bro. No.
There you go. Yeah, that was a good game. You guys pulled it together. I mean this is I think this shows you guys how much more dominant you guys can be in these lobbies. Like this can be like a win every day type situation. Like these small little things I told you are just like the biggest things. Like they're the smallest things in like FNCS Grand Finals, but in these lobbies, they're some of the biggest details that will separate you guys from like everybody else and will make you a top 5 team consistently. Yeah, do you guys have any questions?
No.
I have a question about like positioning when we're
Yeah.
fighting someone, because sometimes like we're like all together 1 second and then we'll die. I guess I can use this one as an example. Can I screen share?
Yeah.
Am I
So
boxing? Is it a solo?
here, I guess we just saw it was a solo.
No, we don't need it.
No, above.
I am lagging.
I'm actually. Thank you.
Careful, they're gonna nitro in. I'm nitroing us.
Am I boxed?
Yeah, I hit her.
I dead. I am dead.
Yeah, I mean, so best way I can
Nothing you can do. This is nothing.
best way I can explain it is the meta is horrible. So that's first thing. But secondly, I mean, you guys spend a lot of time kind of in that cone, which is annoying. Like, and again, that team, I don't know if they're good or bad, but that team is just picking you guys off based off of how you look. I'm sure of it, right? Like if this team's stuck in a cone, like they can't be that good, right? Of course, you guys are very good, but it's just an accident. You guys are being stuck in the cone. So it's like, you want to make sure you're not portraying yourselves as that bad team as much as possible. There's a video here. Like, let me see if I can, there's something I always teach. It's called the snail. There's a ton of them. I made a ton of them already. I can't launch my game, so I can't show it, but this might show it here. I'll link it in here. This does show it, but it's like, it's 5 months ago, which is fine. It doesn't change, but now you need stairs instead of cones probably. But the snail is a super good strategy to have, right? Like it's like right there in that bush fight, you guys could have pulled out the snail. Right there, you guys could have pulled out the snail. And like again, in a meta where you can't just smash through walls and break everything in the box as well, right? Like if they nerf it, so maybe it's only like, it only damages the walls, then the snail is going to be extremely busted. So it's still going to be something you're going to want to learn for next season, for this season, going forward, whatever, right? Like if they nerf it, everything's good there. I've made a couple of short form videos over this, but yeah, I can't launch my game. It's downloading right now. So that's the snail though.
Wait, I didn't see it.
I put it in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I think the main thing is that like we don't need to key for our kills, right? Like we just need to look at the same people and game for our kills.
Yep.
Because like I put together like this whole thing and like obviously we only averaged 3 elims in the whole thing.
Yep.
like for the pre-quals, but like
We got there.
but not like our average placement was 4. So it's like
Yeah.
we just keep doing our thing. Like we don't have to.
Yep. Pick off those bad teams,
Yeah.
and you guys can get kills like that.
Yeah, because like the problem is like off spawn, like they're contested at Rebels, right? But Smiley's gonna come over there because she does it every single time. She's done it for the past 4 months.
Yep.
Did it last prequel, so like we can't go that way, and then we can't get that bunker at Lavish because Classy goes there, and not gonna lie, they shit on us. So like, but I don't think we need to throw a game trying to kill people.
I agree. I think also the more you guys win, the more scary you guys look, and the better spot you guys can get. Right, like the more scrim sessions you win, scrim games you win. You know, you're gonna start to like either condition the entire part of the map. Like it's possible you guys could have a way bigger spread there, right? Or it's possible you guys could switch to like maybe it's like Classy, or like maybe it's somewhere north, but like you keep that spread. That's good. And same thing in in game. Like maybe it's, you know, you guys have the same focus skins on every time they see you're on height. They're not even gonna go for it. They're gonna be just as scared because they know that you're hard to take it from. So, yeah, all those things work. I do need to bounce, but it was a pleasure getting to work with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Alrighty. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Alrighty. And that's a wrap. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah. Super early in the morning, but we're here. We're grinding. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.